So the Warriors are bad. We all know this. They're 3-15. But Eric Paschall is the bright spot of this season, if you ask me. That and the high draft pick that will eventually come from this. So Paschall's putting up 16-5, doing it on some pretty damn good efficiency of 58% true shooting. He reminds me of Julius Randle because he's a bulldozer to the basket. He's 6'6", listed at 255, all that on Basketball Reference. And basically what I said, he's just a brute force going to the rim, whether it's off of cuts, off the dribble. He does have some handles already. I mean, I don't know if he's some ISO at the top of the key dude, but there have been some face-ups, there have been some attackings of mismatches. Is attackings even a word? I don't know. And he looks pretty confident when he has decided, I'm going to go off the dribble on this possession. Even if it's something that, with a fully healthy Warriors team, we would not expect him to do that much. I think what's interesting, though, about that is, and I was going to wait a little bit to get to this, but I'm just going to get to it now, is his potential of playing with Draymond next to Steph, Clay, and D'Lo if D'Lo is going to be on this team. Because with Paschall, you have another dude who can actually go off the dribble. So that could create two dudes that could screen for Steph. I mean, yeah, Paschall and Draymond, if that was going to be like your 4 and 5 thing, if Draymond can still play center like that, that would be a very small front court. But in terms of everything the Warriors like to do, which is speed and screen setting and bigs who can make a play, I think that could be something. And now if like Steph could get a screen from Paschall and then you have to trap Steph and then Paschall can go off the dribble, whether it's to the rim or then make another pass to somebody, I think all that's very interesting. That could even be a way for Draymond to get some rest. I mean, I think Paschall, while he's definitely not the playmaker that Draymond is right now, and I do think he needs to work on his like reading of the game a little bit, because there are definitely times when he decides that he's just going to roll and there's somebody there, and you know, it's the normal rookie thing that you got to work on. But maybe he can get to that point one day, and then he can be the guy throwing lobs up to the Warriors center who could end up being like James Wiseman next season, you know, depending on where that draft pick falls, or some other potential star big in the draft. But Paschall does need to make some progress there, but still the handle I think is good enough to think he can do some of those things. I mean, he's had some like 10-foot ISOs this season, which you could also just call face-ups. So that's all cool. There are other parts of Paschall's game, of course. I think we should talk about the jump shot a little bit. There's a lot going on with his jumper. He jumps very high. There's like a slight angle when he shoots it. He's not square to the basket, I guess. And I don't know. I do get a little freaked out when I look at him shoot. But at the same time, his percentages in college were really not horrible. I mean, he attempted 500 threes in college. He shot 33%. Not horrible. And then he attempted about 440 free throws where he shot 76%. And we should maybe even give him a little bit of a break because he struggled after he transferred to Villanova. And then he got it together a little bit after that. So, I don't know. Maybe Paschall can be a shooter. Maybe he can at least make corner threes, but his jump shot just freaks me out a little bit. And if Draymond is going to continue to struggle from outside, and then you insert another guy who might not be a great shooter, then that could be not great. But at the same time, I don't think it's certain that Paschall's not going to be a shooter, on top of there certainly would be a lot of ball handling and versatility defensively and that kind of thing. And we can talk about Paschall's defense a little bit. I'm going to be honest, I got no clue. I just said potential versatility defensively. I really have no idea. I mean, is it fair to gauge a rookie on how good they are on defense when this is the team that they're putting out there because of injuries? I don't know. Maybe you think it would be. I'm just going to hold off on that one. Of course, I'm not going to pretend to act like I've watched a bunch of Warriors games this season. I have not. So someone who's watching them day in and day out would probably have a better take on that than I would. But it is still pretty easy to notice Paschall's offense. The post-ups, the cutting, the attack in the glass, the 2 inches shorter Julius Randle. The dude definitely has some potential in the league as an inside scorer who could develop the handle a little bit more to being a transition guy. And again, I think if you get him in the Warriors system and you get those shooters around him and he doesn't have to do as much off the dribble, then I think he could be a pretty good piece for him. And if he could be a real post-up dude, then with all the switching that you have to do to defend Golden State, that could just be another thing you got to deal with. It's like, well, crap, we got to switch on to Steph, because if we don't, then he could drop a 3 on our heads at a split second. But now we got a shorter dude on Paschall, so while of course you would still do that because you'll take your chances on a Paschall post-up rather than a Steph Curry potential half a second of daylight, it's still like another thing that you're going to have to potentially deal with if this guy can be a real menace on the low block. And this can come on the ball or off the ball, so this isn't just Paschall setting screens for Steph at the top of the key, which of course the Warriors don't do very often, so it's all interesting stuff. I mean, we look at the potential for this team next season. Steph, Clay, D'Lo, maybe they could trade him. I was surprised by how many people on Twitter, whether it's in my replies or other people's replies that I've seen, want them to trade D'Lo. I mean, yeah, you could argue they need more wing defense and stuff, but I don't know, man. He's dropping 24 and 7 right now. The dude's shooting 35% on 8 threes a game. Like, that is pretty good. Now, I guess the argument would be you're still going to be the best offense in the league with Steph and Clay, and you can get yourself better defensively with a D'Lo trade. I get it, but what if you can still not suck on defense without trading D'Lo? I think that's the best potential option. You know what I mean? But who knows? A lot of that comes down to who's available and stuff. So yeah, but Steph, Clay, D'Lo, Draymond, hopefully not falling off a cliff, high draft pick, and Paschall. Things are definitely going to be looking better next season for Golden State.